there, welcome to my channel. I'm teacher Fernanda Dias, an English teacher in Brazil, and today we are going to talk about greetings, but a little deeper than we are used to see over the internet. Let's talk about and discuss about the social behavior and the social perception when talking English, even to say hello, and how one single sentence and one single behavior can change the whole perspective that someone has over your English. Say that because there is one sentence and one behavior that can make you instantly sound like a complete beginner, even if your grammar is correct and even if you've already studied all the grammar rules. And honestly, most Brazilians, including me at some point, have already used these expressions before. And that's alright. Because when we are learning a language, it's natural that we try to rely on the most basic structures. But as your English knowledge evolves, our communication should evolve too. As you get more comfortable with the language and also as your English knowledge evolves, it's important to start revisiting old expressions and replace them with new ones that will make you sound more comfortable, more natural, and more socially aware of these changes. So today I'm going to show you how fluent, confident native speakers actually greet each other and how this can change the way that people perceive your English. Because you might think that greetings, this is so simple, so basic, but believe me, people are judging your English from the moment that you start talking. And that's alright. And this perception that people have over your English can create amazing opportunities for you or delay some opportunities for you. I'll not say and because I believe that from the moment that we have health and motivation, we have opportunities. From the moment that we go outside and talk to people, there are opportunities. But if you can start these opportunities by talking confidently and more and sounding more natural, this will be incredible for you. Because yes, the way you greet people, the way that you start the conversation can change the whole dynamic of that conversation. If you start correctly or if you start well, you can create amazing opportunities for your life. And I'm talking about networking, job interviews. You can change your job at the moment, get promoted only by starting the conversation from the right angle. And to prove my point, let's do a quick test. Let's imagine two different people walking into the same meeting. The person number one is very shy, very insecure, nervous, and the person starts the meeting like this. Hello everyone, how are you today? Now imagine person number two. They are confident, they smile, they talk to everybody in that room, and they start the same meeting like this. Hello everyone, good to see you, hope you are doing well. So notice that grammatically and technically both are correct. They have no mistakes. They are perfect for a textbook. But there is one person that sounds more natural, more confident, more comfortable with the language, and there is another that sounds rehearsed, right? Which one do you think sounds more natural and which one do you think sounds rehearsed? Let me know in the comments. And the problem with the traditional textbook is that it usually, especially those that we see in Brazil, I don't know if in other countries they are different, but especially those that we see in Brazil, is that they are formal. They focus on the grammar, they focus on the structure, on the formal, on the standard stuff. And don't get me wrong, they are important too. And I even bring some of this content here at this channel. But it's important that we get aware. It's important that we remember that life and real conversations, they go beyond the grammar. They go beyond the formal, the structure that we see in those textbooks. And especially because, like I mentioned before, life changes and the language changes together with life. And it's important that as English learners, we get aware of those changes to stay updated. In Portuguese, we do this naturally, right? If the language changes, if the environment that you are changes, you notice that and you can change instantly how you say, how you behave. And in English, we need to train ourselves to also adapt ourselves to the environment that we are in. If you are with your friends, you behave, you talk in a certain way. If you are at your job, you behave, you talk in a different way. Whereas if you are with your family or with your boss or at the university, if the environment changes, you should change the language skills that you use to, right? That's why with the test, with the person 1 and 2, 1, the person 2 sounds more natural, more confident, more comfortable, because they adapt themselves to fit into that situation. Alright, so now let's check some new expressions that you can use together with those expressions that you already know. The traditional hello, goodbye, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, for example, when you arrive and you start talking to someone, instead of say the when you arrive and you start talking to someone, instead of say the traditional how are you, you can say how's it going? How's it going? Or instead of it's a pleasure to meet you, you might hear glad to meet you, great meeting you, it's so good to see you, or even good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, or just hey everyone might sound more natural, more conversational, more comfortable to talk to someone. And they are not informal. They are just right for the situation. And as I said before, as I said before, the previous expressions they are not incorrect, but they can be incorporated into your vocabulary knowledge and used accordingly to the situation that you are. If you are talking to a friend, if you are talking to a business partner, you need or a new client, if you are at a job interview, you need to have those expressions with you and use the more appropriate ones. But here's the trap that nobody talks about. You can know all the language, all the grammar rules, all the structure, but it still sound unnatural, forced, rehearsed. Why? Why do you think that happens? Because fluency and language is not only about the grammar, the structure, the expressions, the vocabulary. Of course, those things matter, they are important, but fluency and to sound natural talking in a different language, especially in English, it's not only about the structure, but the energy behind every sentence. This changes everything. I can say, good to see you, nervous, shy, anxious, with warmth, with confidence, loud, low, and this changes everything, every meaning that you put behind the sentence. So sometimes you may not have the most broad vocabulary possible, but you have a confidence that the person watching you, hearing you, might think, she or he or they are not native speakers, alright, but they are confident. And this changes everything. Because the moment that your boss notices that you can handle a difficult situation in English, who do you think he will call or she will call when needs someone to talk in English? The shy version of you or the confident version of you? And this is also practice. You practice over and over and over, hearing you talking in English, speaking in English. So when you are in a challenging situation, you know how to deal with that with expertise, right? Alright, so now let's get to the fun stuff. Here is a practical to-do list of greetings in English that you can start using today at your professional environment. So for meeting and calls, you could say, so good to see you all. Thank you for joining. Glad that we could connect. For networking, you could say, really great meeting you. Would love to stay connected. For casual and or professional conversations, you could ask, how's your week going? How have you been? How's it going? They are more natural. They will make you sound more natural when talking in English rather than the traditional how are you. Imagine that somebody joins your meeting. You could say, appreciate your time, glad we could connect. Maybe it's the middle of the week and you see a friend, a colleague. You can say, I hope your week is going smoothly. And when you say all the sentences that I mentioned, what are you doing? You are validating the other person. And this creates warmth, this creates connection. And when greeting someone, especially in English, especially in a language that is from a different culture, you don't know the background of that person, you don't have a certain level of intimacy, is the best thing that you want. Because otherwise, imagine that you start a meeting in a wrong angle, like I mentioned before. For example, like this: hello, hi, uncomfortable, strange. The other person will get nervous and will retract. And this is not a good thing. That this is not what you want when you're talking in English in a professional environment. These phrases might sound simple, but they are the doorway into a good relationship with a person. Maybe it's through the greeting that the client trusts you. It's through the greeting that your boss trusts you, that the HR person that's calling you trusts you enough to hire you instead of other person. So use these sentences, practice them. Don't try to learn 100 sentences right now. Practice those that we have seen in this class, that repeat them over and over and over again until you sound comfortable talking in with them, using them. Also, if you liked the video and you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe. Let's create a community of people who love speaking English. And let me know in the comments which subjects you love the most when talking English. Do you like about poetry? Do you read poetry? Do you like English? Do you like which songs do you like to listen to? Let me know in the comments below and I can create videos about what you said. And if this is your first time seeing my face in this channel, let me know too. And watch the next video I'll post in here at the end. It is the Portuguese version of what we talked today. So you can practice your listening, but you can understand more if you had some trouble understanding the language, the English in here. Alright?